You're the only one I can talk to around here.
Seriously though, one of those concepts that I think is truly lacking is, the Ten Commandments, I'm not religious, let me state that for a fact right now. I'm not religious, but the Ten Commandments just make a logical sense of how to get along in life and not get into problems.
Yes, I agree.
And do unto others as thou would do unto yourself makes perfect sense because,
indeed.
if everybody treats everybody that way, we'd all get along a whole lot better. That goes.
They should have had like a thou shalt not be an idiot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't legislate.
Shall not be a dumbass.
Yeah.
Can I get that on a T-shirt? We should sell that as a T-shirt.
I like those. I like those. Thou shalt not
Let's
be
make up our own
mean.
10 Commandments.
Thou shalt be kind to animals and children.
Thou shalt not use their cell phone in a film.
Well, my problem with a lot of religious stuff is that it's, first of all, a lot of it's based on things from so many thousands of years ago that it doesn't hold true anymore.
On any of them.
It doesn't make sense. A big one. For example, and this one
That whole
will
thing
probably
about
get me in
adultery.
trouble with family members, but I don't care. In the Orthodox Jewish faith, actually in even just kosher, you can't mix meat with milk.
Where's the logic in that?
Now, my attitude is, if you don't get to heaven for having a cheeseburger, that's a petty God.
It's a vengeful God. I'd go
Okay?
further.
I don't think God cares about cheeseburgers. I think God cares what comes out of your mouth, not what goes into
It's
it.
certainly not a carnivorous God.
But then it gets bad because you say that to somebody who is kosher and they flip out on you. They go nuts.
But God doesn't care.
For no
It's the most
apparent reason.
blasphemous thing in the world.
For no
But
reason.
for them, it's their way of practicing their religion.
Right.
Which is great for them.
Just
Because it's not your way.
But
I needed
faith
sugar.
is not based on the food you eat or the color of your
Yes,
hair
indeed.
Or the kind of-
or if you wear
I agree.
makeup or
Kind
you
of
don't wear
plates
You
makeup.
have a relationship with God. It should be one-on-one
Indeed.
between you and God, and there should be no one in the middle taking money for that conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, religion is all positive as long as it gives you spiritual comfort, whatever you are doing. Gives you spiritual comfort. It's when it's used to inflict guilt and negativity.
If not death.
Yeah.
And,
If not indeed death.
and incite war
Indeed.
and justify evil acts that it's negative.
it's frightening. It's frightening, the idea of religion being responsible for teaching hatred.
Absolutely.
Which makes
So-
no sense whatsoever.
They're great guidelines and things to run your life by, but they're
Well, like these crazy terrorists who think that if they kill a number of people, they're going to heaven
With 12 Vestal Virgins.
to get these
But
virgins.
I keep saying, why in the world would they want a virgin?
That is not heaven, I'll tell you.
I'm sorry.
You end up,
one is bad enough, let alone
I'm
12.
making a joke, but I'm sorry, it's not. I mean, why?
that isn't heaven if you're there with a bunch of virgins. It's just the way it is.
Too much work, right?
Yeah, it's too much work. Yeah. In the last several elections, the only thing I've been able to do is vote for the person to vote out the person I don't want in office instead of voting for somebody that I do
It's always lesser
want.
of two evils.
Yes.
It's so hard to believe in anybody now.
Well, I think there's a whole problem with the voting system anyway. This whole electoral college is so outdated that you really don't count the votes. On American Idol, every vote counts.
Yeah, I don't understand.
No, you're right, Rachel. You're
No one's ever explained to me, and maybe I'm not.
because you're the younger generation.
Yeah,
honey.
probably. But
Because that's what
what's
you
wrong with the
represent.
concept of whoever gets the most votes wins?
I absolutely agree.
Gore
with
had
you.
300,000 more votes. You're right.
It
The
shouldn't be that
Electoral College is-
complicated.
Yeah, but we come back to
It
the
goes back
reality
to
of
constitutional
Yeah,
issues.
we don't have the right to vote. That's the way it is.
yeah.
We have the right.
Our vote
We
doesn't
have been
count.
given the opportunity to vote for local representation, and they are supposed to represent us. And those are the people that get to vote. And I actually witnessed one of these gentlemen standing up in the news saying, "It doesn't matter what they think; it's what I think that matters."
Absolutely.
These guys are stealing us blind,
Absolutely.
and we know it. I mean,
Absolutely.
we don't know it how specifically, but we know it.
Yeah.
It's real obvious with where the money goes in terms of healthcare and where the money goes in terms of education. And where,
Absolutely.
But the
Absolutely.
percentage of people that vote versus the ones that don't vote is absolutely appalling.
Appalling.
If everybody who could vote and should vote did go out and vote, 2000 would not have been a close election.
Why don't people vote? Why
Lazy.
don't people vote?
It should be
Why?
a
Mandatory.
legal, mandatory requirement.
I think
You're
so.
absolutely right.
It's a civic duty to
It's
do
a
jury duty. You're
responsibility.
not allowed to get out of jury duty.
Rachel,
you
you're
get
right.
that thing in the mail
You're right.
that says you've got to go serve.
You're
They'll
not
put you
allowed
in
to get
jail
out.
if you don't.
That is such a good
Have you ever
point.
known anybody to be jailed for not serving on a jury?
Don't they fine you?
I think they fine and
So
They
let them
can
do
make it
both.
work.
I mean, either
They
way.
can.
Theory.
Let them do both. Then let them do both when you don't
Isn't it
vote.
called contempt of court?
I can't imagine
Yes.
the Republican camp, let alone either party, actually going along with mandatory voting because that would
That
skew
would not serve
things.
them.
and
Yeah,
they wouldn't
that
want
doesn't
it,
help
you
them.
know?
That helps us.
Yeah.
Now Charlie said a beautiful sentence. That doesn't help them, that helps us.
I did say
And they don't want that.
Charlie
don't
for
want
president.
By us, do we?
See, there is another issue.
Not with that
Why would
background.
the average guy who's a decent human being want to be president?
Good
Well,
God,
no, but I mean,
why?
there's a whole other bunch of reasons why I wouldn't want to be president.
But we know
But
why
that's what I
average
mean,
guys
you
who
know.
aren't decent human beings are.
Yeah,
Because they
exactly.
have
Again,
relatives that help
Again
them.
well said. Again
There
well
are no,
said.
yeah, there are no average guys who even bother running.
I don't think that we have average people. I think you're right. That the people who run for office, it's not that they're extraordinary people. They're certainly not extraordinary people. They're
extraordinarily bad.
It should
many
be
times.
extraordinary people. I don't want I don't want the average guy being president. I want someone, or guy or gal. I mean, I don't mean guy specifically as males.
Thank
The average
God.
person. I want somebody.
Good catch.
Yeah. Eh?
One Spider-Man
No,
for
I mean, I want
president.
somebody who is capable of doing the job and will do it the right way.
Here's the deal. I keep on saying, here's the deal.
It's a good phrase.
Here's
it's a good
the deal.
phrase.
All right,
it's a good
so-
phrase. I like it.
Yeah, saying my little southern way. So, y'all.
Here's the deal, y'all.
There were a couple
adorable.
of
She's adorable.
Okay.
She's we're talking about how cute she is.
That's nice and supportive, Charlie. Thank you.
Trying to get this thing moving.
How about you incentivize people to vote? How about you get a tax credit if you actually vote?
If Bush is so obviously for the wealthy and tax cuts for the wealthy and everything is so it's so blatant and cut and dried, how does he have such a huge percentage of the population?
Because
in his
they lie
corner?
to everybody, and the information given out is misinformation.
Yes. Aren't people angry? Why aren't people angry about this?
Okay, so we know about it. We're angry. What are we going to do about it?
I agree.
Vote.
What is-
Vote.
Well, vote.
But vote. But that's the thing is, how do you
Of us
convince
are gonna
people to vote?
Yes.
If you have no voters, how do you get more than whatever the numbers were? How do you
If there's only
convince more
7 million
to vote?
people
ask
voting
the
in the
questions.
country at this point,
That's-
how
that's-
stupid is that?
Just
Vote,
astonishing.
you
Yeah.
ask the questions, you demand that the
Yes.
media in your
Yes, and you don't
community
stop,
address
and you
the
don't
answer.
stop. You don't throw up your hands and go, "What's the point?" You know.
Well, that's-
because
You
then they
do
just
you
run
do
over you.
research on the internet
Yes,
and you find
And
out
you
the
make-
answer
and
to
you
your
make-
own
and you
question.
do things like we're doing today.
Freedom is something people have died for all over the world on a regular basis. And it's continuing today, and it's happening in the Middle East, and it's happening in Africa and portions of South America. And you have an opportunity that not everybody has. Voting gives you an opportunity to speak your mind and tell those in power what you're thinking. And if you don't exercise that right, those people that have died before you have given up their lives for nothing. This opportunity for us to speak to you at this point in time was given to us because of freedom of speech. And I spent a lot of years not putting my money where my mouth was. And here was an opportunity for me to step up and say, hey, I really think there's something going wrong in America at the moment. And everybody that's taken part in this is here because they have an interest in what happens in America. I'm an average person, and I'm here saying I'm thinking what you're thinking, and I hope you recognize that from this piece. And in that, you will get out there and exercise your rights.
Whatever way you can make a difference, it doesn't matter, just make some difference. Whether it's going and donating your time at a shelter, whether it's just reading more about what's going on in current events and thinking down the road to what this country will be in 20 years if we don't start paying attention now.
So go vote.
Please go vote, and thank you for watching our movie.
Thanks for the time.